Firstly, they need to be able to read code. And it's very simple to just take a simple course in coding so that you can understand it. You don't have to go into the bigger languages like C++. Something like Python is going to be good enough. The second skill that I think women should have is to have an understanding of project management. So how do you run a campaign for a client with certain milestones in place and the understanding of what are critical milestones and dependencies? A lot of project management work that we do right now in the industry is very Six Sigma black belt based. But I'm not talking about that extent. I'm just talking about learning how to read a Gantt chart and put together a timeline so that you know how to buffer times in between people who owe you things and what you owe other people. I believe that knowing basic project management skills is good enough to get the job done, whether you are in an agency or whether you are working on the client side on very long-term projects. So these are the two skills that I believe women should have already before they enter into the job force. So soft skills, I would believe, is being able to communicate well. So communication is a very practiced skill. Being able to say what is in your head clearly and confidently is something that we all should strive to attain. Even at this day and age, I've had 20 years in the experience in the industry, and I still struggle sometimes when I put on the spot in a very big boardroom talking to 20 other people. The trick is to clench your fist, or that's at least what I do, clench my fist and tell myself that I have to take every opportunity in time to make my voice heard. As long as you can do that and make yourself heard to other people, then you would already be practicing the soft skill of speaking your mind and being part of the conversation. The worst thing for women is to always be the one who is sitting at the back of the room and not saying anything and nodding in agreement. So I would suggest sit in the front of the room, like in a classroom, and always be the first to offer your opinion, because the first person who speaks is the first person who will get remembered in any room. So communication skills is probably not something you could take or learn. It's something that you have to practice over time, like swimming, for example. You can't learn how to swim by watching a top Olympic swimmer. You have to learn how to swim by putting in the hours and the training yourself. Secondly, other skills that I think people should take as females is writing. So be a good copywriter, understand sentence structures, figure out how to deal with grammar and spelling, and train yourself to read very fast. In the world that we have today, where everything is about communication and there's lots of information coming at you at like a high-speed train, all you can do is to hasten your ability to read. So go pick up books like How Do You Triple Your Reading Speed? Something like this is going to be pivotal to how fast you can react and work with people in your daily life. I would wish that somebody told me that reading skills was important, typing skills was important. The faster you read, the faster you type, also means the faster you think. So the more spontaneous reactions that you can bring into your daily life, the better you are as a leader and the better you are as a co-worker. I also wish that in the very, very beginning, I wish that I had also trained in marketing communications in school. So how do you deal with media in terms of how do you deal with editors and journalists, especially when we have a crisis management on our end. The other skill that I would really like to have is maybe some legal skills, some paralegal skills, not enough to actually do contracts, but enough to kind of understand what was important in the legal industry, so that when you're in the business world, you have some training and some understanding of what to do and what not to do. So I believe that own self-learning from YouTube and going through a lot of courses online This is basic and important. Everyone should do this in their daily lives. In fact, I do offer 10% of my time every day to train myself, so I go on courses online, I meet with people, I talk to them as a student. So that's very important for everyone to invest in themselves first, because when we are better people, we also are able to attract better people to our team and then lead a better team for the clients or for our own companies. I also believe that we should all get a coach. A life coach is important, a mentor is important. So if there's a very specific need in your industry where your coach has to be the subject matter expertise, I would suggest that you reach out to them individually and say, hey, will you be able to spend some time with me, mentor me and coach me? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They'll just say no. But what's good is they'll say yes, and then you would have won a mentor for life. And then you can tap onto their networks, their experiences, etc., so that you don't fall into a bad state of making the same mistakes that they've made before. I also believe that getting a coach is important. So in any project that you do, let's say you have a project that you want to achieve in 30 to 60 days, you need to get a coach involved, because not only does the coach help give you direction and prevent mistakes from happening, your coach also will hold you accountable to the things that you need to do. So imagine if you told your coach, I'm going to get this done in 30 days. And on the 15th day, if your coach asks you, hey, have you done your job? You said you would do this. Where are you on it? And you figure out that, I haven't actually spent enough time. And that in itself is a lesson, and that is the value of the coach, because the coach will be able to hold you accountable to what you said before and try to gently nudge you along the journey of completing that project. Invest in yourself, because no one is going to invest in you better than you. Always do something today that your future self will look back and say, hey, thank you for investing in me. Believe in yourself first, because no one else is going to believe in you as strongly as yourself. And get yourself a mentor, a coach, to help you along in your daily projects in your life. So having monthly meetings with your coach will keep you focused on where you want your 1 year to go. And always plan. Have a 1 year plan, a 3-year plan, and a 5-year plan. And planning is more important than actually seeing that plan happen, because we all know that if we don't plan, we plan to fail. And that's very true. If you don't plan your life, you wouldn't know where you want to end up by December. So I hope everybody has some good points to take away from today's session.